right now, and we are joined by top high school football recruit Donovan Smith out of Owings Mills. Donovan, how you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
Not too bad at all, sir. And Donovan, you're very much in the thick of this recruiting process. Obviously, have made waves since last year when you came to Owings Mills as both an offensive and defensive lineman. And you look at your accolades, and I'm pretty sure first team All-County, All-State, All-Met as both an offensive and defensive lineman, and then an All-American as an offensive lineman. You will be playing in the Under Armour All-American game. Have garnered a lot of attention. I know just limited your college choices to your final three. What has this entire process been like for you, man, leading up to, I guess, your final decision, which I think will be after the All-American game?
It's been great, me being where I'm from and, never thinking I'd have all of this and, just between all of the college coaches, calling and getting, 10, 15 mail pieces a day. So, it kind of, it's the Blind Side, the movie, so it's kind of, a dream come to reality. So.
Now tell everyone the story about how you ended up at Owings Mills, because you're originally from New York, and people around this area obviously know Owings Mills still the last couple of years, I think 4-6 this year, 3-6 last year, but before that, I don't think had a win in like 5 years. So far from a football power, yet they have one of the top recruits in the country. Hey, how exactly did all of this come about?
Actually, my uncle, he's behind it all. In New York, there was a lot of things going on, family-wise, and, a lot of violence up there. So, he wanted to get me out there before anything happened. And, he took me in down here, and, just so happened, the zone school that we lived in was Owings Mills. He actually tried to get me into, Franklin and Newtown around here, but, the zone school was Owings Mills, so, I had to go here.
I wonder how it is, for high school athletes like yourself, and you're, like you said, you're getting all these letters and you're getting all these awards, and colleges want you so bad, and everyone's telling you how great you are. I just wonder how a guy like yourself, manages to stay humble and realize that you're not there yet, and you still got a lot of work to do. So how, as an athlete who's praised up and down, stay humble and stay hungry?
Actually, family. That's the key to it all. Family. I can't stress how many times I'm on the phone with my mother or my uncle, aunt, or cousins. They just tell me, stay humble throughout it all because anything can happen the next day. So, that's the major part to it. Stay humble.
What's your key to success now moving to on the field? What kind of lineman or who would you compare yourself to as far as maybe somebody at the pro level, given your size? Are you the kind of guy that you're one of those athletic tackles, or are you just one of those big bulk guys that you'll take on a guy's bull rush and just throw him to the ground?
I'm a little bit of both, athletic and, like I said, I play defense too, so I got the mindset of a defensive player, so, I can, overpower someone whenever I want, as well as be agile as, a running back. Well, not a running back, but be agile and, athletic to handle those speed rushers. So
maybe athletic like Dan Connolly of the Patriots, who had that that kickoff return, if that's what you're referring to. You end up on some kickoff return team as like a wedge guy.
Matt Zenitz, Dave Snyder on the line right now with Owings Mills star Donovan Smith, a top high school football recruit, a 4-star recruit according to Rivals.com, ranked as the number 5 prospect in the state of Maryland, will be appearing in the Under Armour All-American game. Donovan, 6'5", 270 pounds according to Rivals. Donovan, I know you said you're closer to 6'6", 300 pounds right now, a terrific athlete for your size as well, but you weren't somebody that played football until your eighth grade, and then varsity until your junior year. So when did all of this become a realistic possibility for you? When did you realize that you would be a legitimate Division I recruit?
Actually, the beginning of my junior year, my uncle, we sat down and spoke, and, he's big on football, so, he started showing me, films and stuff, and that's when I really, got into it, and, he said, this could be you. You just got to work for it. And, that's what I did from that day on.
Just curious, you being a guy who, like Matt mentioned, wasn't, that experienced coming into your high school years playing football. When a coach tells you that you're playing the offensive line, I feel like the initial reaction for a lot of guys is, I don't want to do that. I don't get to tackle. I don't get the ball. How receptive were you, and how much do you enjoy now playing the offensive line compared to when you started? Was it love at first sight as far as playing offensive tackle?
Not really, honestly. I thought that I would at least go to college for defense because if you look at my highlight tape, I had 80% of my highlight tape is defense. So I thought I was going to go for defense. But when I got invited down to the Army All-American game combine, my uncle said, just go as a offensive lineman, and I did, and I finished top 10 there, and it just stuck with me. And then as the year went on, I've been going to a lot of combines and camps, and I progressed each time. And my uncle said, that's the spot where you want to play because it's thinking in the NFL, that's the money position. So, just putting it all in perspective.
Absolutely. And you look at the process for you, and like we alluded to earlier, Owings Mills isn't exactly a hotbed for recruiting talent. So it wasn't until you went to a combine, I want to say January of this year, after your junior season finished up and you were heading into your senior year, that you really established yourself on a national level. So talk about the combine and I guess how you surprised people out there and what happened after that in terms of the attention that you received.
Actually, yeah, I got invited by the U.S. Army All-American Combine. Went down there to San Antonio. I just got off the flu, and I had dropped about 20, 25 pounds, and that was the big thing when I was down there. A lot of scouts and whoever was down there, I was a little underweight, and I probably fit that as a tight end. So just going there and hearing that, it made me want to work harder. And then I actually didn't know anything I was doing, with one-on-one. So, I kind of pushed myself to the back and let a couple other people go. And then, I kind of put whatever they did together with, whatever I can do. And then, it came together, thank God. And then after that, West Virginia was the first offer, I believe, a week or two after. So, yeah.
And did it surprise you at all? Because I know talking to your coach, the attention came in quickly right after that combine. That West Virginia came in, school started visiting the school. And what was the attention like for you, and how much of a surprise was it to receive that kind of notoriety, that kind of feedback, and that kind of attention so shortly after the combine?
It was very overwhelming because, actually my coach, he comes upstairs, and he never comes upstairs. And he walked in my locker and had a letter from me, and it was from West Virginia. And then, a couple of weeks later, I got my official written letter from West Virginia in the mail, and it was overwhelming. My family, we all, were together when I opened it, and I just took it from there. As in, this is real. This is really here, and I can control the rest of my life. So.
Matt Zenitz, Dave Snyder on the line with Owings Mills football standout Donovan Smith in the process of making his decision on where he will take his talents at the next level. And Donovan, talk about your progression, man, because for somebody who didn't have the experience, like I said, didn't start playing football until your 8th grade year, didn't start on varsity until your junior year, what has the progression been like for you from a football standpoint in terms of just how you've progressed as a player?
It's been very tough, between the weight room, a lot of, studying film and, working out and stuff. So, it's been tough. I definitely tell you, it's not been easy, between my trainer, Austin Kelly. He definitely puts me through, high-intensity workouts and, preparing me for when I go to college and stuff. So, and, just between the motivation my uncle gives me, it makes me want to go outside and work on my technique and run the hill that I have in the back and stuff like that. So, and then just going over film with him, he'll tell me, oh, I'm leaning too much, or I'm not bringing my legs here, or I'm not, I have the wrong placement of my hands. So, it all comes together.
And what about from a weightlifting aspect? How much have you seen a progression in terms of that, whether it's bench press, squat, 40 time, and all of that?
Actually, the biggest progress I've seen was bench and squat. I've never lifted a day in my life before my 10th grade year, and then my trainer got hold of me. I'd say I was benching at least one 185, 5 reps, and, he got hold of me. And,
sounds like my combine.
yeah, he got hold of me, and, he definitely got my bench up there. So now, my bench max is 365. I could barely squat 250, and, now I'm squatting, over 450 now for a max, if not more. So, it definitely been a progression.
Seriously, that was literally my combine. It 185 5 times. See, the combine for me was when I realized I wasn't going to be playing football anymore. So it must be fun for you to keep playing football. But this might be a little off base, but curious if it's on my mind because I actually I covered the Owings Mills basketball game for Patch.com yesterday. Has Coach Epps came to you and said, hey, we could use your size on the basketball court at all, or does he know you're strictly a football guy?
Actually, he knows that I played basketball, and he would have liked me on the team, but he didn't know how much of this football stuff would take my time of being able to practice and go to games and stuff. So he was like, stay healthy, don't get hurt, just work out. And your gridiron's on the field, so
it might sound crazy, but I feel like an offensive lineman that does actually have a ball, some ball skills here and there can come in handy when you're running those those trick plays where you use an eligible tackle as a receiver,
or even on kick returns now,
or even on kick
like
returns.
Dan Connolly.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like the more well-rounded you are as an athlete, it certainly can't hurt.
Yeah, I agree. That definitely helps because we had a couple of plays here where I'd pull around and on a reverse and lead a player down, the field 20, 30 yards. So, it definitely comes in handy.
Yep, and Donovan, let's shift gears to, I guess, the decision that is looming now. Not to reference LeBron James or anything like that, but the decision for Donovan Smith coming up very soon.
Where are you taking your talents?
South Beach. But yeah, I know you just limited your choices to your final 3. What has the decision-making process been like for you, and if you want to talk about the 3 schools that you limited it down to?
It's been very tough. A lot of conversations at dinner. With my uncle, my aunt, my sister, my cousins. Even calling my mom, and then brothers and sisters. For a good fit for me. Definitely getting their input on it because who am I to say I can do this all by myself? Because I did it. So I definitely keep them abreast on things, and just. The schools I narrowed it down to it's Penn State, UCLA, and NC State. And, I basically went off of, their academic support and, how strong their academics are. If they have my major, which I want to be criminal justice, and, just a chance to compete early, to get on the field and definitely the players and the coaching staff there. So.
Just curious because it sounds like during this interview you've made it sound like, family is very important to you. If you were to choose a school like UCLA, which is, across the country, you think you'd be able to, to handle just, I guess, being away from your family for an extended period of time? I think it's a lot of things that college athletes don't really think about and isn't talked about that much, but a lot of people going away to school are without their family for the first time. So how do you think as a young adult you'd be able to handle that?
I'd probably be able to handle that very well because, I say if I could live in New York for 14 years, I can live anywhere. So, but my family, like you said, I am big on family, but as long as they're, behind me 100% on whatever I make as my decision, that's all that matters because, they know it's the best fit for me. So.
You at lunch right now? Where are you in class? Say
that again?
Where are you? You are in school right now, right?
Yeah, I'm in school.
So, are you in you in a classroom or are you in lunch, recess? What's going on?
I got permission from the principal, so.
Gotcha.
Awesome, Donovan. Well, we appreciate you taking the time today, man, and we would definitely follow you throughout the rest of this process and look forward to seeing your decision after the Under Armour All-American game and see how you fare in that game as well.
You sound like a real good kid, man. We wish you the best of luck.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Donovan Smith, happy holidays, sir. Owings Mills football standout about to take his talents to the next level, 4-star recruit, according to Rivals.com, and according to his coach, very comparable to New York Jets offensive lineman DeBrickshaw Ferguson. So not only may we see Donovan at the collegiate level, but maybe someday at the pro level as well, too. Donovan Smith from Owings Mills.